If you come to somebody else's country, you have little room for error. Look at the year of return. What are the Black Americans, the Caribbeans, the Black British, what are they calling us to do when we come there? Exactly. And do what else? And build and train and to do what? Let me give you the Ugandan perspective. What's the favorite sin of Ugandans? What are you adding on us? Isn't that what Ugandans say?
Yeah.
What if the South Africans ask the question, what's the question?
What are you adding?
What are you adding on us? And if you're going to say, listen, okay, we failed the system, you're right. But what are you adding on us? Because when they look at me as a Black American in Uganda, even though Uganda's not South Africa, what do they ask?
What are you adding on us?
That's all they ask. So our situation is what it is, but you're foreign here, so what?
What are you
Are you
adding?
adding
Now,
on us?
if you don't add anything on what is there, it is very difficult to say, well, you're looking at the wrong person, because I don't see the wrong person. What I see is you. And I may not be educated to see that, but I see you. And I see that you're not adding anything on me. So now I see that because you're next to me. You're in here, bro, where I live. See, me and TJ don't live. We don't interfere in African business. But if you set up a shop in my business and I see you, you're in my neighborhood. So you're here with me. Why are you not in Santon? Why are you not in, what's the other neighborhood there? Midrand. You're here with me, but you're not adding anything on me. And then you're telling me I should be focused on somebody else. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that one Africa shit. What the are you doing here? That's how I feel about you.
Yeah.
And again, both things can be true at the same time.
The fact that all African countries, you guys, you saw this. You saw this. This that I'm showing you, slide by slide, it's the drugs. It's the amount of drugs which is found in South Africa day by day. This. It's the amount of drugs which is found in South Africa day by day. I don't know if ever you hear what I'm saying. We have guys from Nigeria. We have guys from Malawi. We have guys from Zimbabwe. We have guys from Burkina Faso. We have guys from Congo. These guys I'm showing you here and these drugs. This is what South Africa has to deal with every day. Most of the times, when South Africa is crying about this, it's posting about this, you motherfuckers, you all quiet. You're not saying anything. You're keeping quiet. While your siblings, your brothers and sisters, they are busy here selling drugs to South African kids. While our brothers and our sisters, they are dying. You guys, you're saying nothing. Including your presidents. They're saying fuck all. They're keeping quiet like nothing is happening.
Nigerians, I want to give you a perspective. You come to a country, you take over an abandoned building, which you deemed abandoned. You force all the residents in that building out or to pay you rent, not the landlord, you. You threaten the landlord with violence so that you can take over this building. Eventually you do. You then bring one drug in called cat. You bring another drug in called cocaine. You bring another drug in called fentanyl. You bring another drug in called naupe, which is heroin. It's heroin cut down. You bring methamphetamine into this country. You supply anyone that wants a taste, even as young as 12 and 13. You create drug addicts through these young girls, and then when they owe you too much money, you tell them they can pay with their bodies. I've seen 13-year-old girls standing outside a Nigerian occupied building, selling her body, full of needle holes. And you have the audacity to come.
Khuma isiqoko khuma kumakarapa amatacontsele entshebeni hile. This brother puts it kamnandi kanjani. Kamnandi kabuhlungu. Yes. What are you adding on us? That's the question. Yeah, ne? Because this thing is affecting us as blacks. Because as the brother said that when foreign Africans arrive in South Africa, they don't go to Sentin, Mhlanga Rocks, Yeah, they are going straight to our townships, and then they are going to the town where we buy and where our people live in flats. But they are not targeting at the places where the whites live or where the whites shop, but instead they are targeting the black market too. So the problem is, if you come to us, you must be able to add some value, as the brother has asked. But instead, you are devaluating our things, our properties, everything. You are hijacking buildings. You are feeding our children drugs. And then you want us to be okay with that. No, we won't be okay. We won't be okay. That thing has been happening for the longest time. We've been seeing in shows where South Africans are exposing drugs, where police are confiscating drugs from foreign nationals, more especially Nigerians. But we've never had Nigerians coming out and then trying to solve that thing, or maybe trying to fight with other Nigerians or foreigners, trying to solve that problem. So that, because if you are in a foreign land, you must behave. You cannot go into a foreign land and become a problem child. You cannot do crime more than us, if we are in our country. I cannot go to Nigeria and become the biggest gangster in Nigeria. I'll be the target. I cannot go to Nigeria and then become the biggest humanizer in Nigeria. I cannot go to Nigeria and then wanted to become the Nigerian president. So now, I don't understand why foreigners, when are in South Africa, they have that entitlement, and then they are telling the South Africans, why are you not chasing the whites? Hey, the whites are bringing value. You have to tell it as it is. The whites we are talking about are bringing value, and then the whites, even if they are coming to our country illegally, but they stay in the suburbs where we can't see them. Other whites must deal with them, but we are dealing with what we are seeing in front of us. We cannot go to suburbs and say, hey, this guy is selling drugs. We don't know. We know nothing about that. We cannot go in suburbs and say, this guy is doing human trafficking or he's doing what. We know nothing about that. But what we are dealing with is something which we have proof of, something which is just in front of our eyes, something which you can see. So please, don't come here with that entitlement of wanting to tell us how to run South Africa. Wanting to tell us that the police must do their job. Who are you? The first thing you must remember, that being in South Africa illegal is a crime by itself. So how can a criminal tell us how to run our country? This is our country. The government which is in power, we are the one who voted for that government. Nigerians didn't vote for that government. Foreigners didn't vote for that government. So we know how we want our government to be run. So don't come here with your nonsense and tell us how are we supposed to act in our country. This bravery which we are showing here in South Africa, I think it's the same bravery which you have to go and show to your countries. Maybe that will help to build your countries. Because that bravery you are bringing in here is destroying our country. Please, foreigners, do that to your countries. Your ignorance, your bravery, or whatever you call it, take it to fix your countries, to be in the level which you want, instead of running away. I will tell you a little story about South Africa. South Africans have been fighting the system for the longest time, as you can remember. We were born in a country where our parents were fighting the system. This freedom which we are having today, many people died because of this freedom. 1960, there was this thing which was called Sharpeville Massacre. Even before 1960, 1956, women marched to Union Building. That is why we are having this 9 August holiday. Marched to Union Building because of this past problem. The white system was killing black men if they were seen doing such things. So they the women decided to take it upon themselves to march to the Union buildings to demonstrate their anger. 1960, Sharpeville Massacre happened. A lot of people were shot at, killed by the white regime in 1960. That is why we started the armed struggle in Ponto Wesizwe in 1961. 1976, school kids were shot at, were killed. That is why we are having this holiday, the 16th of June, which we are still celebrating today. Thousands of children were killed. That was the struggle was still continuing, and then many people went to exile. And the negotiations were still ongoing in our country while we are still fighting at the same time. This freedom we are enjoying today, it was just an overnight thing. We fought for the longest time, and then prior to 1993 or 1994, only 38% of black households were having access to electricity, clean water, and etc. But whites, our society, whites, almost each and every white household was having clean water and electricity. I think they say about 98%, which we can see every white people was having access to electricity and clean water. While on the other hand, black people was only 30%. Rural areas, there was no electricity in rural areas. The electricity was something which was in the townships. So now, after 1994, after this freedom which we are trying to enjoy, and then which is still the freedom that is not complete. We are still fighting, our struggle is still continuing, but instead of helping us in our struggle, you are doing the opposite. You are on the side of the whites, which we are still fighting them to be even like this. Instead, you are the ones who are going on the side of the whites, and then you are fighting us. And then you want us to sit back and then sit and relax and watch you as you are destroying the country. The amount of jealousy you are having, every success in this country, you are always pointing it to the other skin color, the whites. And then you forgot South Africa has many buildings, new buildings. Where were these buildings prior to 1994? You amaze me sometimes. This amount of hatred and jealousy the other Africans are having to South Africa, especially Nigerians. But instead, they want to come to South Africa and then tell it in our face that we are nothing without whites. Hey, please guys, go and do that in your country. Last time I remember, there were whites in Nigeria a long time ago. I don't know what happened. And then Nigeria is still rotten. It is rotting. It is deteriorating up until now. So now, if we are handling our affairs the way we want it to be like, that's our problem. You don't have to interfere. Let us enjoy the fruits of our struggle and then still continue with the struggle, because you are isolating yourselves from our struggle. So please leave us in peace and go do a struggle in your country. Maybe you'll have something that will help you head to fight and then try to fix your country instead of coming to destroy our country. Dango.